Are you done? It's noon 35. Hell yeah, I'm done. I'm as done. I'm Christian Bryant.
And I'm Catherine Beek. 2015 is so the year of the reboot.
Instead of coming up with new show ideas,
networks are looking to the shows of years past for more content.
just about every week for the past month or so, a network has announced yet another reboot.
Like this week, that was the whole Revolution.
Okay, right,
Yeah.
right. And there have been countless others, of course.
Many. So we couldn't help but come up with a few more options for producers to consider.
First up, what about remaking the hospital drama ER? Give me your argument for that, because I would love to hear this.
My dad was gone a lot for work, so my mom would always, I would always just watch ER with my mom whenever my dad was on business trips. So it's kind of like going back to my childhood. I don't think we would have had like Grey's Anatomy if we didn't have ER.
So ER was the thing that set it off
Yeah.
for you, and you think that was like the launching point for a lot of these other shows.
I do think
Grey's
so.
Anatomy, House. What about House? I like
House.
House is a good
Well,
show.
ER, it's one of the most winning TV shows there is. It's won it won 116 awards or something like that throughout its run.
So bring it back, not only because it was the precursor to all these other hospital or medical dramas, but it also has, some weight behind it because it won a lot. Who were the big stars of the show? Do you remember? You were tiny you're tiny now, but you were tiny when
I was tiny then. Funny enough, I actually remember seeing episodes with George Clooney in them.
Oh, nice.
So how much fun would it be if they rebooted the show and then just randomly George Clooney was a patient in the new show?
Bring the silver fox back.
He did not have gray hair then. John Stamos was in it. Julianne Margulies. Characters can become so iconic, especially with the actor that does it. So I think maybe similar
characters, but different people playing those characters. That's what it sounds like. I'm all in for that one. I can get behind that. We move from ER to children's television. We can't forget about the kids.
So what about bringing back Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood?
Anybody who knows me knows that I've talked about Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood incessantly for the past few years. And it's because I used to watch it when I was a child, and I learned much more about it as an adult. I mean, for one, Mr. Rogers was actually a really good person. He wasn't some sort of evil Navy SEAL behind the scenes. He was just a really nice person who was dedicated to educating kids. And then I'm a big music head, right? Johnny Costa, a great jazz pianist. I'm not sure how to say that. Pianist or pianist?
Pianist.
Pianist. You say it enough times. Anyway, Johnny Costa used to do music for the show live. I think giving it a fresh new look would be amazing, and it would give kids now a chance to really experience that. I'd say put a young guy or a young gal in there, and then have some hip young pianists come in there and do a similar thing.
Music?
Yeah, it was like the Johnny Costa trio that used to do it. I'd be down to see all of that just revamped with a younger host and a younger cast.
One of the coolest things I thought about this show, and full disclosure, I didn't watch it as a kid because apparently I was too busy watching ER.
But she did watch it before filming this.
I watched a full episode. Something I thought was really cool is that they shot almost 900 episodes of that show. It lasted for 30 seasons.
That's 900 shows of live music and Mr. Rogers putting on his sweater, taking off his sweater, taking off his shoes, putting on his other shoes.
That means it was important enough to kids, enough kids tuned into it, that, you got 30-some years out of it. That's amazing.
Do you know the theme? Can you sing this theme?
Welcome to...
No, that's... Welcome to... No, that's not it. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
I knew it was something about a neighborhood.
And then the ending song is such a good feeling. Yeah. It's all right. They're gonna reboot it. So you get a chance to learn it all over again. You get a chance to learn it for the first time.
Perfect. Me and every other 5-year-old out there.
And finally, we'd be highly grateful for a reboot of Lost.
Because 5 years later, we still don't understand how it ended.
All right, so full disclosure, you didn't watch Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I didn't watch Lost. but I was confused with everybody else's confusion. I was like, well, damn, what did happen? I think my only reference point for Lost was, as I told you this earlier, was This Is 40. And Paul Rudd's daughter is watching the last episode of Lost, and then she is just inconsolable because, as she said, spoiler, everybody dies or something like that. I don't know. She says everybody dies, and you can't talk to her, you can't deal with her. She doesn't want to have anything to do with anyone. So that's my only reference point for Lost, and I can see that is a confusing ending and also a frustrating ending.
Well, it was the confusing ending because it was the whole purgatory thing and kind of like, okay, well, were they really dead the whole time? Were they somehow, alive? And then the show's creators ended up coming out like 4 years later being like, oh, well, no, they really were alive the whole time. And then just somehow they like died at the end.
So maybe not a reboot, but a Lost redo.
Perfect, redo.
We scrub the earth of the original Lost, and then they just redo it.
Redo it. They never explained what the smoke monster was. Like, why, first of all, you needed a smoke monster?
Smoke monster.
There were enough confusing plot points, like, you could have done without that one.
And that's just one of the many. One of the many there.
So yeah, redo it. Maybe make it less confusing so people can actually understand.
So now we have to box this up and send it off to Universal Studios or somewhere in Burbank, California, so people can get a good idea as to what to do. Yeah. We said, what was the first one?
ER.
ER, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Mr. Rogers' Hood, and
New
Lost.
name there.
Don't do that. Not Mr. Rogers' Hood. No, that's a horrible idea. So there we go.
Yeah.
I like those. Let's see those rebooted and redone.
Thanks for watching, guys.
I don't know where that came from. Sorry, guys.